All right, my man. We're gonna pretty much speed run through most of these replays. We'll take a look at what you're doing. I'm gonna highlight the important parts. I'm gonna fast forward and see the stuff that's really not important because it would take me hours to go over every minute. Yeah, a little bit delayed on that first supply depot, but that's okay. What is our opponent doing? What in the flying hell is our opponent doing? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Oh my god, it does matter. I'm so sorry. What the fuck is that? He hasn't made a worker. He hasn't made a single probe. It is 52 seconds. And he has made 2 pylons, 3 pylons, and a forge. This is not only a delayed cannon rush. Like, this is... I know you're low. It doesn't matter. So, when we scout Cannon Rush, which we're not scouting, we're at 17. I hope that we're going to pull one here to scout soon. Our initial reaction, wall off. Just make a full wall with the supply depots, and then we can build a bunker on the high ground. But if the probe gets in, then we're in danger. Okay, so we're opting not to scout. So we're playing completely blind. What the hell is going on? Okay. So we're building the command center on the high ground. For what reason? If there was a threat, you know, for sure. However, we haven't even scouted. We don't know what's coming out yet. This should be on the low ground, and I'm not sure why we're getting an eBay so quickly either.
Command center got we finished that add-on.
Okay, so we're going quite an early 2 racks because we're floating a lot of money. That would make sense. All right, well, to be honest, the one thing I have to give you right now is your worker production's been somewhat consistent, so we do have an idle SCV. I'm hoping we can pick that up. And
add-on complete.
This better be good.
okay, very first priority, always orbital. It is always worth it to get an orbital more than it is to pump out a single SCV or 2 immediately. Now we have 3 idle SCVs, and we're staring at them. Come on, let's... They still have 2. We're looking right at them.
Nice.
Come on. Yeah, we got stim and +1. That's fine. So right around now is typically when a normal third base would start being produced. But, you know, we're at almost the 5-minute mark. We're at 30 SCVs. Still very, very low. But, I mean, we're still higher than our opponent, who is... What the hell? I just don't know.
Add-on complete.
Okay. So I like the fact that we're throwing down these Raxes and everything, but we throw down additional Raxes so that we can continue production. There's a difference between building 7 barracks on 2 bases and building 7 barracks on 3 or 4 bases. The big reason is 2 bases can only support 5 racks consistently. Therefore, on 2 bases, we usually go with 5 Raxes for bio. Here's the thing. We're throwing down lots of Raxes, but we're not even producing units out of the ones we already have. And I get it. We're floating money. We're trying to spend it. But with Terran, it's always be producing. Always, 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 always. So these Raxes right now, while I do like the idea, not worth it because we don't have enough money to produce out of all 3 of our Raxes. We're still not producing units. We're still not producing units. We're still not producing units. We're still not... Oh my good lord. That was like a solid minute and a half of no units being produced. The higher you climb, you will be... Like, that could be game ending. Absolutely. Like, you will be punished for that. And look, we've got all of these new Raxes, all of these attachments on all these new Raxes. And we have 1 Marine being produced.
Armed and ready.
Do 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 do. It's It's been about a minute now. Nothing in production. No SCVs, no units. We're only on 32 SCVs. We're still not producing. Like nothing. Nothing at all. Not even an upgrade. Okay, we finally have a supply depot. We don't have combat shields. We don't have anything. We don't have a reactor on our starport. Okay, we're finally... Okay, here's where I'm already noticing this. You've made the hotkeys. Awesome, I'm happy that you're doing that. But you're not using them. I can tell you're making a conscious effort to put them all in a control group, but you are absolutely not using them because nothing was being produced for almost 2 minutes there, and nothing started to be produced until your screen went back over the Raxes. We have control groups for a reason. I know it's difficult to, get in the habit, form that muscle memory, but it's imperative that you use them. Yeah, that tank took a long time to siege. Okay, 0 micro at all. Alright, so how are we going to do this fight? Let's look at this. First off, siege the tank right here. Then, we move our bio up. We don't want to take this fight until, look, we already have vision of the siege tank, or the cannon, sorry. Siege our tank. We don't want to take this fight. Like, the Protoss has 0 idea that we're here. Like, he's not looking at all. All we need to do is siege this tank, and then stim with our bio, go in there. It's 2 cannons of Void Ray and a handful of charge lots. Like, look at the army supply right now. We're in a massive advantage. But we fought without our siege tank sieged. All of our Marines were at our front while the Marauders were in the back, so the Zealots just chopped them all up. And yeah, we took what would have been a game-ending push, and we somehow lost, which is okay, Okay, this dude's going into carriers. For the record, there's a really big reason why Protoss players at least don't mass carriers. They definitely have their purpose versus Terran, especially versus like mech and stuff. But pure Marine will be pure carrier. You don't even have to target the carriers. You can just A-move. Pure Marine will decimate all of the interceptors, and there's just nothing left. Like, this dude is on... How many units does he have? Yeah, so... Oh, we haven't lost a single SCV. We're at 10 minutes. We're only at 40.
Armed and let's have a blast.
Upgrade complete. The minerals have
Ready for dust off.
Go, go, go. It's about to get
Ready for dust off.
We're still not using our control groups. Nothing's being produced, so you're being clicked on it. Okay, so we're massively ahead in army supply. Yeah, 63 Marines.
go time.
We've got 1-1.
Ready for dust.
He's going double next. This is... I know it's bronze.
Have a blast.
Yeah, there's no way he can beat this. There's absolutely nothing he has. Why is there another 2 minutes, almost 3 minutes left in this game? Oh.
Field depleted. Hey, they're attacking our base. Upgrade complete.
Blow to command center! Your building's fine!
Hey, they're attacking our base.
Okay, you have enough energy for a single scan. Doesn't really matter because, like, look at the army supply. It doesn't. He's got 4 Immortals, 6 Charge Lots, 4 Tempests, a Carrier, and 7 Void Raids under this mothership. Like, there's the scan. It's not a bad scan. There's no way you can lose this. Like, I don't think there is a world where you could lose this. It's just not possible.
And
GG.
they're out of here.
Alright, so that game, you almost killed yourself more than your opponent ever did. Your opponent never touched you. You did way more damage to yourself than your opponent did. Make SCVs, Make the control groups, use the control groups. Going on to game 2. Let's see what this is. All right, TVZ.
SCV ready. SCV ready.
Yeah, no, 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 no. Everything's correct up until this exact moment. We have no information. We do not know what our opponent's doing. We decided to skip SCV scouting again, which I don't want you to do. SCV scout on 17 in every single matchup. We are blindly going for a second depot over an expansion. A second depot, really, like this early, the only benefit it's going to have is if, you know, there's a cannon rush or, you know, for whatever reason, there 12 pulled you or something like that. It's just literally to keep yourself safe. You have a decision after your Rax is finished. You can either go for a second Rax, you can go immediately into a factory, or you can expand. This just doesn't do anything for us. This is a middle of the route road that there's no advantage. We're just, yeah, I don't like this. And again, don't tell me we're going to build a command center on the high ground. Okay, we're not. All right. So let's take a look at what our opponent's doing. What in the flying fuck is this? Why does he have an Evo and he's not? Okay, why? Okay. I have a build where I get +1 melee to deal with Hellions, except it's done off of 3 hatcheries, and mine's... This is just... This is stupid. And he's going for a Roach Warren! With melee. I just... it doesn't matter what your opponent's doing. It doesn't matter.
Add-on. Come on. Command SCV.
Okay. So we do not even have this finished yet. And we've gotten double eBay. We're way too early on our upgrades, okay? So, like, as a general rule of thumb, unless you're doing a timing attack or anything like that, like 5 minutes is when we want to start our upgrades, right around there. This is just very early, especially for double eBay. And, okay, at least we canceled it. So, if we're going to cancel, yeah, that was a little bit delayed, but immediately we start on the high ground. So we still have idle SCVs. How many SCVs have we lost? 2. So we are at the 4-minute mark and we only have 20. We're not producing much of anything.
SCV ready. Who wants some?
Yeah. We're still not using our control groups. We're supply blocked, and this is a pretty big supply block. Yeah. So what is our opponent doing right now? Obviously, we have to do something. Okay, that was a nice catch. That was a very nice catch. We have to do something to get ourselves back into this game. We've just shot ourselves in the foot. He forced a cancel on a natural, and we haven't been able to punish or do anything. We also have zero idea what he's doing. It is now 6 minutes. We are just playing campaign. We just have no idea what our opponent's doing, what they're up to, what kind of build. We don't know if roaches, lings, banes, mutas, a combination of all of them are coming at us. We don't know. And if they deny your scout, just remember, you have one of the most overpowered scouting abilities in the entire freaking game. Scan. If you have no idea, it is always worthwhile to scan. Information is priceless in this game.
Ready for duck.
So we're still not using an army hotkey. Well, I mean, we're not using any hotkeys, but we don't even have our army placed onto a hotkey.
Research complete.
So notice how we're not producing any bio units until our screen moves over there, and now all of a sudden we're producing them.
Ready for dust off.
I know I'm beating a dead horse by continuing to say this, but it needs to be said. I need to drive the point home. So we can transfer some SCVs. We idle SCVs most of the game. Okay, so let's pause right here before this attack happens. We have lost a grand total of 2 SCVs. It is 8 minutes in the game. We have 34, which means we have made, well, we had 36. Once again, we have done more damage to ourselves than our opponent could ever.
Get me out of this mess.
Takes 3 corrosive biles to siege down, kill a siege tank. So if we have multiple tanks, which we only have 1 because we're not producing very much, we want to make sure they're a little bit split up. So when you're playing versus Bio Terran, like ranged attacks help, melee attacks help, but they're almost meaningless in comparison to Carapace. Carapace is everything. Because Banelings on their own, Lings on their own, they do good damage. The problem is they're so fragile. So this dude's got, going for more of a Protoss style, which when you're playing Zerg versus Protoss, I mean, I'm going way off. Zerg versus Protoss, I don't need Carapace because Protoss units are much, much tankier and they just need to connect and do damage. They don't have the same DPS as Terran. Terran has so much DPS playing Bio that Carapace is infinitely more important because you need the units to survive long enough to get connects. This guy's just got it ass backwards. So you should have a fairly easy time cleaning this up, considering he does not have Carapace. He's now going for Swarm Host. Let me guess, he's still on 2 bases. He's still on 2 bases. Amazing.
The mineral.
We're going for a Doom Drop. We lost. No. So, was he even looking when we lost 2 full medevacs?
Armed and ready.
Mineral field mutation complete.
At least he was looking, I guess. Alright, well, nice catch by him. That sucks.
Command center got.
Ready for dust off.
SCV ready. This better be good. SCV ready.
Let's have a blast.
Do we notice? Do we notice?
They're under attack.
Okay, we lost quite a bit. Swarm hosts are really good versus mech because mech is like positioning is everything in mech and it's very immobile. But swarm hosts versus bio, I mean anything can work in theory, but it's just not an ideal composition. This should be an easy free win. Okay, there's the Nidus. I don't know where the Vikings are coming into play. Like, okay.
This better be good.
Where is this Widow Mine going? Alright, we're dodging the biles. We're still only using F2. So that's definitely a problem. But I don't think there's a world in which we can lose this game either. We just can't. Yeah, that takes a little far back.
Minerals have up and
Go,
gone.
go, go.
Mineral field.
Okay, nice pullback, nice pullback. Alright. GG. Drop a bunch of mana mules, win the game.
Mineral field
Easy.
completed. And they're out of here.
Alright, so this video is already starting to get a bit long. Let's just go over your one loss and then we'll call that a day, because I have a feeling the other two are going to be incredibly similar to this one. Let's see how you lost. Oh, let's see.
SCV ready. SCV ready. SCV ready. SCV
Yeah.
ready.
Remember to scout on 17. Our gas finished. We have 2 in there. Awesome. Hey, low ground CC. I'm digging it.
SCV ready.
So, the proper order in which we're doing things when our Rax finishes. Reaper, Orbital, or Orbital Reaper. I don't really care because you should have the money to get both of them at the same time. then expand. But Orbital and Reaper take precedence over your expansion. Orbital is so important. We have to get it immediately. Soon as our Rax finishes Orbital.
SCV ready.
Outside of the Orbital, which is now being started, we're looking okay. Like, we're not... This is somewhat of a build order. Okay,
Your command center upgrade is
we're
complete.
kind of late on the factory. We're not producing SCVs. Okay, whoa, 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 whoa. What are we doing, brother? We have not made an SCV in a very long time. And we're just going to throw down all of these production facilities. No, no, this is... Why are we doing 311? It's 111. We went over this. Come on, man. All right. So, what does our Reaper see? Not a whole lot. Twilight. Twilight's super common. For Protoss to open against Terran, it could be DTs. It could always be DTs. It's always something you should think about when you see a Twilight Council. What is it likely going to be? Blink. But you don't know, right? Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, canceling. We don't have a... Blah, blah. Start the orbital. Thank you.
Add-on complete. We finished that add-on. Nice.
Armed and ready.
Your command center add-on complete.
Boom. DT Trine starts. It's very, very late.
Go, go, go.
We got more. Oh, we got eBay's going down, which I mean this is the right time, but we're not producing units. We're not producing SCVs. We've got 28 and we haven't lost any, and it's 5 minutes. We should be at like 50 plus.
Gangway. SCV ready.
Finished learning. We finished that add-on. Nice.
We're mega supply blocked. Okay, so we're pushing out. Keep in mind, we have no medevacs. And we don't even have any being produced. So every stim is permanent damage at this point.
Armed and ready. Let's have a blast. SCV ready.
You have enough energy for one scan. One scan only. He's got 6 DTs. We can absolutely clear this up. That was a good scan. Get the warp prism. Prevent any reinforcements from coming in. Okay, our tank is killing our own command center. Oh my god. We're gonna kill our own command. You know how the time we're doing more damage to ourselves than anyone else could? Alright. Regardless of what happened in these games, it doesn't matter. Win or lose, it doesn't matter. You need to use your control groups. You need to continuously be making units. That includes SCVs, Marines, Marauders, Medevacs, tanks. You need to not throw down so many production facilities early on when you're not even using the ones you already have. We throw down additional production facilities to complement the ones that are always constantly producing units. That's why we throw down more Raxes. We don't need 7 if we're only producing out of 2 at any given time. Other than that, I mean, you had some ideas. I don't want this to be all negative. You definitely did some solid stuff, man. Like, you won games, and it doesn't really matter how it happens. If you win, you win. So I'm proud. I'm happy. Keep working on it, and good luck. Have fun, man.